Yeah, I mean, she's really good tennis player. Goes for her shots, takes the ball early, rips. Being a lefty is always tricky, competes really well. I mean, obviously she's beaten a lot of top players this week. I don't really think she needs me to tell her that she's a great player, that we're not going to see enough of her, but we definitely are. And she proved that tonight. I mean, that was really...
What a week it has been at Indian Wells. Even though the tournament has ended for Alex Eala, the discussion about her is only beginning. Because when someone like Jessica Pegula steps forward and starts defending you, starts speaking up for you, starts talking about how remarkable you are, you know the world is paying close attention. And that is exactly what happened after Alex Eala's loss in the round of 16 at Indian Wells. Jessica Pegula did not hold back. She had a lot to say, and every single word of it was true. Let's go back to the beginning, because this story deserves to be told the right way. Alex Eala came into Indian Wells, and she did not arrive quietly. She came in fighting. She came in with purpose, and she showed everyone watching that she belongs at this level. Her wins throughout the week against top competition, including players like Coco, made a statement. They were proof that this young woman from the Philippines is not just a feel-good story. She is a real force in women's tennis. And when you start beating the names she was beating, people begin talking. The crowds start getting bigger. The excitement starts building. And Indian Wells felt every bit of that energy this week. But tournaments are tough, and the round of 16 brought a result that did not go Ayala's way. She lost. In that moment, a lot of people were watching to see how she would respond. How does a young player handle defeat when the whole world is watching? When thousands of Filipino fans have traveled all the way to California just to support her? When the pressure is real and the cameras never stop recording? That is the moment that reveals character. And Alex Eala showed hers in a way that left everyone speechless. She did not rush off the court. She did not disappear into the tunnel and leave her fans standing there wondering. She stayed. She waved to every single one of her supporters who had made that journey to be there for her.
The whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where did these people come from? And then week after week, as she, has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. And so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on too small of a court.
She looked them in the eyes. She showed her appreciation. And she carried herself with a level of grace and composure that even some of the biggest names in the sport cannot show on their best days. That image, Alex Eala waving to her fans after a difficult loss, is going to stay with people for a long time because that is who she is. That is the kind of champion she already is, even before the trophies start stacking up. And Jessica Pegula noticed all of it. She sees it every time Eala walks onto the court. And after that loss, Pegula spoke out. She shared exactly how she felt and did not hold back a single word. Pegula made it completely clear that one loss in the round of 16 does not define Alex Eala. One result on one afternoon does not erase everything this young player has already done and everything she is going to accomplish in this sport. Pegula stated that there is no one, not a single person following women's tennis right now, who can ignore the potential that Alex Eala is bringing to the WTA. And she is right. You simply cannot ignore it. Pegula talked about the energy Eala brings to the tour. She explained how from the moment Eala arrived on the scene, she brought something different with her, a freshness, an excitement, a real love for the game and for the people who come out to support her. Pegula said she has enjoyed watching Eala grow and develop as a player, and she made it clear that what we are seeing right now is only the beginning. Only the beginning. Think about that for a moment. What we saw at Indian Wells this week, the incredible atmosphere, the packed crowds, the thrilling matches, all of that is just the start of what Alex Eala is going to bring to this sport. And Pegula went even further. She mentioned that she would love to have Eala on her podcast to sit down and really talk about the kind of attention and excitement she is bringing to the WTA right now. Because it is not something small. When a player draws the kind of crowd and passion that Alex Eala attracts, that matters for the entire sport. It matters for women's tennis. It helps the game grow. It brings in new fans. It makes existing fans even more passionate. Pegula understands that, and she clearly has a deep respect for what Eala represents, not only as a player, but as a personality and as a symbol for her people.
Amazing. I mean, I played her when she kind of broke out last year in Miami, and I'm from there, and the whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where did these people...
Speaking of personality, Pegula also made a point to praise the way Alex Eala is handling all of the fame and attention that has been coming her way. And let's be honest, that is not an easy thing to deal with. When you become a national hero, when an entire country stands behind you, when millions of people are watching your every match and every move, that kind of pressure can be overwhelming. But Pegula said the way Eala is carrying that responsibility is truly impressive. She is handling it with grace. She is handling it with humility. She appreciates her fans in a way that feels sincere, visible, and real. And even in defeat, she shows a level of composure that says a lot about who she is as a person. Compare that to what we sometimes see from other players. We have all seen what happens when certain high-profile players lose matches they expected to win. We saw it at the French Open final when Coco Gauff made an incredible comeback against Aryna Sabalenka. Instead of fully recognizing that Coco was the better player that day, Sabalenka went into the press conference and suggested that Coco did not win because she played better, but because Sabalenka herself did not perform well. Taking credit away from your opponent's victory, refusing to recognize their performance, that tells you a lot about a person's character. And that is why the contrast with how Alex Eala carries herself is so clear, so refreshing, and so deeply appreciated by everyone in and around the sport.
She won the match not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, like, if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy balls. If Iga would win me...
This is exactly why players like Jessica Pegula are stepping up for Alex Eala. This is why Pegula is not only praising her game, but also actively defending her and showing support for her. And this goes back even further than this week. Remember the Australian Open earlier this year, when Eala was attracting huge crowds, but the WTA was not giving her access to the larger courts in the early rounds. Pegula spoke up about it at that time as well. She supported Eala publicly, saying that she deserved to play on the bigger stages so her fans could be there with her, and so she could feel that energy pushing her forward. Pegula recognized that the situation was unfair, and she said something about it. That is what a real ally does. That is someone who truly believes in what Alex Eala represents.
It was Eala is the match that I was looking at, and there was people like wrapped around the stadium just trying to get in, which is pretty crazy. And I mean, it's cool to see and it's exciting, but obviously, you know, for fan experience, I don't know, because I'm not living that same experience, but hopefully the event kind of continues to grow.
And Pegula was not alone in that moment either. Tennis legend Novak Djokovic also added his voice to the conversation, saying that Alex Eala deserves all the attention and respect in the world. Djokovic pointed out that Eala is the biggest name in tennis to ever come out of the Philippines, and that she and the Filipino people deserve to be treated with the respect that comes with that status. When you have someone like Novak Djokovic standing up for you, when you have someone like Jessica Pegula speaking strongly in your defense, when even opponents like Coco Gauff are showing you respect after a match, you know that what you are doing is truly something special. You know that the impact you are making goes far beyond just one tournament or one result.
Alex Eala, you know, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. You know, there's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. You know, she's been the biggest ever, you know, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's big interest. So things like that happen. I mean, it's you could argue that it was, you know, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's so young and she's just coming through. So
Indian Wells is over for Alex Eala, but her story is far from finished. Up next is the Miami Open, and that tournament holds a very special place in Ayala's journey because it was the event that first introduced her to the world stage. It was where people first started paying attention, where they first realized that this young woman from the Philippines was not just good, she was something entirely different. She is going to return to Miami with something to prove. She is going back motivated, focused, and ready to remind everyone exactly who she is. And her fans, those incredible, passionate, and loyal supporters who showed up in California to cheer for her in every single match, will be back as well. They will follow her to Miami because that is what this fan base does. They show up. They never stop showing up. And Alex Eala never stops appreciating them for it. Jessica Pegula said it perfectly. One loss does not define Alex Eala. What defines her is the way she plays, the way she carries herself, the way she connects with her fans, and the way she is changing women's tennis simply by being part of it. The WTA is better because Alex Eala is in it, and the best is still ahead. What do you think about Jessica Pegula strongly supporting Alex Eala after her Indian Wells loss? Do you agree with Pegula that one defeat should never define a young player who is clearly showing world-class potential? Do you think Alex Eala has already proven that she belongs among the biggest names in the WTA? Or do you still want to see more before putting her in that group? And what do you think about the way Eala handled the loss, staying on the court for the fans and showing grace even in disappointment? Let me know in the comments whether you think Pegula is completely right about Ayala's future. And also tell me this, can Alex Eala bounce back in Miami and make an even bigger statement on the tour?